There we go. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's going well.
Yeah, I'm driving, so
Didn't think anyone would be joining.
I intended to join right at 10 because I'm really interested in the subject. I have a kind of a nutty day, and I had to handle something that came up prior, and now I'm late driving to the office. I mean, not that anybody's waiting for me. I just like to get there usually an hour ago. But
oh no, Marco's here too. Hey,
oh,
Marco,
cool.
you're on mute as well.
Are you doing this? This is going to be a weekly thing, right? That you're hopefully.
Yeah, it's weekly.
Okay. Great.
I was here at 9:50.
Yeah, well.
And then I went to eat some snacks.
Okay. Yeah,
Still eating,
I got here
Stefan,
at the top of the hour, and I was just seeing your chair there.
I think I fixed all your recommendations.
Okay, cool.
From that. So today I was here just to listen and learn more. It's in my plan to redo the website, but it won't be soon. I have to take care of a bunch of other things first. Yeah. So yeah, just here listening, or if you want to take a look at how I fixed those problems, we can also do that.
All right. And Michael, what would you like help with?
Well, I also, this is my first time on, but I haven't even addressed anything SEO related for my business or my site, primarily because I've been a B2B, like it's very relationship based. Like I meet somebody, then they work with me, but it's picking up steam, and I think that people are going to start seeking me or people that do what I do out. So it's perfect timing. So yeah, I'd like to improve what's going on with my business.
Mm-hmm. So okay. And are people Googling you or your company name or something else?
Probably a combination. When they look me up, they can find me on LinkedIn and and a few other places. But if they're looking up my business, they might look up my business as well. But sometimes so what I do, I have a company that's shifting the film, television, and advertising industries to sustainable practices, and we also do consulting for what happens on screen to make sure that, like in major movies and TV shows, that people are behaving in a sustainable way. Like if you're in a movie and someone's driving around with a reusable water bottle instead of a plastic one, that kind of thing. And I just launched a second, like a nonprofit outside of my business to accomplish this in the advertising industry, and it's really taking off. And we're getting a lot of inbound queries now. As big brands like Anheuser-Busch just decided to make all of their commercials eco-friendly. Kentucky Fried Chicken's doing the same thing. Facebook, Apple. So they've all started to, just in the last year, make these big commitments. And so we're being sought, but they know about us because I'm the one who founded that initiative. So, but it's just a matter of time before, people find out they're doing it and they decide they want to do it. And then they want to figure out how to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Well, I just Googled you, and here, actually, let me share my screen. So I don't know if you're going to really be able to see it while you're driving. It's kind of unsafe.
I'll be at my office in 5 minutes. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just, you'll be able to follow along from what I'm saying until you're in the office. So let me share my screen for Marco's benefit. So, okay. This is a search for your name, Michael Kaliski, and you'll see that there is a knowledge panel on the right-hand side. Have you ever Googled yourself, Michael?
I have, but it's been a while.
Okay. So you don't have ownership over your knowledge panel. If you scroll down to where the bottom of the knowledge panel is, underneath where people also search for, there's this button that says claim this knowledge panel. You should sign into Google and click that button.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I didn't even know that. I don't remember that feature being available last time I Googled myself, which must have been a while ago.
Yeah,
But
it's
maybe
been
I
around
missed
for
it.
a while. So that will allow you to make suggestions to your knowledge panel if you see things that are missing. If you, for example, have a book, but it's not showing up, you show up as an actor, and maybe that's not the category you want to most be associated with right now. It's up to
Funny,
you.
that was like a side thing I did a little bit of, like in the 90s. So it's funny that acting follows me around, but I guess it's a sticky title.
Well, it's partially based on the fact that you're in IMDb.
Right.
And if you added more sources besides IMDb that have information about you, like, for example, wikidata.org or bloomberg.com or crunchbase.com, these sorts of listings, if Google knows about them, will help populate your knowledge panel with additional information that's not just about you as an actor.
Right. Great.
Yeah, and it only shows two social profiles, Twitter and Instagram. Are you on Facebook and LinkedIn and so forth as well?
Yeah, for sure. In fact, I'm barely on Twitter. I'm more on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah, so part of the benefits of controlling your own knowledge panel, or at least owning it, is that you can make suggestions. And with social profiles specifically, though, the easiest way to get that populated is for your own personal website to have schema.org markup in it. And it's a little complicated to do unless you have a WordPress site. And with a WordPress site, you can, if you have Yoast installed, you can set up this schema.org person markup. So you would go into the Yoast settings, and that would. I just lost the share on that. 1 second. Let me turn that back on. Okay. So let me pull up some information about that. So Yoast, and let's put in schema person, and same as. So the same as attributes will be where you're going to put your Wikidata URL and Crunchbase URL and all that.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't filled out my Wikidata, so I think I have to do that too, right?
Yeah, you would need to set up a profile on Wikidata, set up a profile on Crunchbase, and also on Bloomberg. And there's actually a whole bunch of different places you can set up a profile. There's this list on calicube.pro called Trusted Sources, and it's sources that are cited in the knowledge panels. Wikipedia is the most cited, but the thing is it's hard to get into Wikipedia. Most people are not encyclopedic. Were you one of the main actors in Men in Black?
No, I had a small role. I had a couple small roles.
Okay, so that is probably not going to get you into the status of notability. You have to be considered notable by Wikipedia, and it's a high threshold to hit. You have to be mentioned in the media a number of times, and feature stories, TV appearances, potentially, etc., that will show that you're notable, that you're encyclopedic, worthy of being in an encyclopedia.
Okay.
But you don't have to be in Wikipedia in order to get a knowledge panel. Clearly, you already have one, so you're good in that regard. It's just not presenting the side of you that is the side you might want for business purposes.
Sure.
So this is a big, long list, and most of these sites are not going to be appropriate for you, but there will be some ideas in here that you'll get from just perusing through this list. For example, I don't know if Everypedia is in here on the sources list, but they're actually a client of mine, and everypedia.org, you can get your own profile on this site. It's like Wikipedia, except it doesn't have the stringent notability requirements, and it's built on the blockchain, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. That's cool. Oh, that's great. I'm gonna I'll literally be stepping in my office in a few minutes. I'll write some of this down.
Yep.
So that's
So Stefan, how easy is to get on Everypedia?
It's pretty easy, but you should have a proper article that you've put some thought into and research into, and not just slap something up with 5 minutes of work. There is a little bit of a complexity to this site, because you have to essentially spend tokens in order to edit Everypedia.
Oh.
They have crypto tokens called IQ tokens. They're not expensive, but you have to know a little bit about crypto in order to
Yeah, no, that's not a problem. My organization has some Bitcoin, something.
Yeah, so you can, for example, acquire some IQ tokens on
from an exchange, and then
from an exchange, yeah. And so it's not much that you have to use in order to create an article, but you do have to do that. There's another site that is not built on the blockchain, but it is another Wikipedia competitor called Wikitea. I personally never use that one. I like Everypedia, but that is another alternative. All right. So that was just a little sidebar on the knowledge panel. If you wanted to pull up, if you want me to pull up your website and give you some feedback, happy to do that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm also going to sign in now that I'm at my office on my computer, so you'll see another sign in a second.
Okay.
I'll be able to see it on my legit monitor here.
Yep. All right. Sounds good.
So it's
what's the website?
goodplanet.green.
Oh, if only you had the .com or the .org.
Yeah, well, goodplanet.com is a sustainable goods company, like a product company up in Canada. And I do have goodplanetmedia.com, but I changed the name to Good Planet Innovation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the problem with a top level domain that nobody's familiar with is that it take a credibility hit. I mean, it's very clear that you couldn't get the .com or the .org or whatever, and it just makes them a little suspicious. It's like having an 833 toll-free number. A lot of people don't even realize that's a toll-free number.
Oh, wow.
It's like, oh, we couldn't get an 800 number or an 88 number or an 877 number or an 866 or an 855 or an 844. So you got an 833. Okay.
Wow. Well, yeah, and I thought that it was kind of on brand to have the Good Planet Green. People seem to like hearing about that. This other nonprofit that I started was called Green the Bid, which is like advertising parlance for for commercials, and we took .earth for that one because we thought we could have gotten Green the Bid. I think I got greenthebid.com too, but we've been pushing out greenthebid.earth.
Yeah, I would do the .com. It's either .com or .org. It's very similar to the idea of an 800 number. Everybody knows and respects an 800 number, but an 833 or an 844 or 855 even, those aren't.
Well, we can have, we on Green the Bid, we own all of them. Like I have greenthebid.net, .org, .earth, .com, .blue, .green. I have all of them.
Yeah, you don't need, it's just protective to keep people who are competitive from grabbing those domains, but you're not going to do anything with any but the one that you're going to kind of set up shop under. The others you just redirect to the .com.
Right. Okay.
Do you have goodplanetinnovation.com? That's long, but you should still own it because it is your organization's name.
I changed the name about 8 years ago, so I feel like I grabbed everything, but I should check. I don't remember if I grabbed it. Everything, every domain that I do own, I have just on, automatic renewal.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do a quick check to see if you have it.
Okay.
It is registered.
That probably was me. That probably would have been me.
Host Monster, is that your web host?
Yeah, I have a few web hosts.
Yeah, it's you, Michael Kaliski. Okay, got it. Yay! All right, you have it.
Good. I did something right.
Okay, so this is important to know that the thing that you have happening in your background is not helpful. It's actually a distraction, and it's bad for conversion.
Okay.
You have this video playing autoplay in the background, taking up the whole background of the screen, and it's not doing anything to help you. In fact, it's a big distraction for people from getting to the place that you want them to go. And what is that next action that you want people to take?
Right.
I'm actually asking you the question. What do you want them to do next? They landed on your homepage. What do you want them to do? What's their next action?
Well, kind of depends on where they're coming from, but ultimately to convert to become a client. So to learn,
you got to have an irresistible offer. It's got to be an irresistible offer. If it's just, read my testimonials and watch my sales presentation and all this sort of stuff, they're not going to be inclined to do that. It needs to be irresistible. It needs to be something that appeals to everybody in your target market, even if they're not actively looking to hire a firm like yours.
Right.
Oh, by the way, this article I pulled up here from Wistia is 6 reasons why you shouldn't have an auto-playing homepage video.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just really bad.
Okay.
It's slow loading. It's distraction. It adds cognitive load to your users.
Can you drop a
watching
link?
The video, the main CTA in the video isn't even interesting. It's just the the ocean. It's just,
Yeah, I mean, it's like I did that out of inspiration from a couple of sites that I saw that I thought looked great, but from some pretty established companies, and so I thought that this was like the kind of cutting edge way to present, because I was seeing it on a lot of sites from
when was this?
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the very end of the trend, because people were realizing that it was killing their conversion. In fact, Tony Robbins had an autoplay video like this that showed how awesome it is to be at one of his events, Date with Destiny or UPW. I don't remember which one, but it was a really cool, compelling video. The problem with it, though, is it cost them a lot of conversions.
Right.
So they killed it. And that was at least a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it's been just a still image ever since. I don't think they're ever going back, because they don't want to lose the sales.
Right.
Yeah. So I dropped into the chat the link to that article.
Sorry, you broke up. What was that?
I dropped into the chat a link to that article, so you'll be able to.
Great. Hold on. I'm just signing in. I don't think I'm going to be able to see that on my computer. Give me a second.
Probably not. I'll repost it into the chat once you're back.
Yeah, it's just joining now. So,
okay.
There we go. There we go.
What do you guys do? Because it's not clear. Just from this homepage, the full screen I'm looking at, I have no idea what you do. Good Planet Innovation. Welcome to Good Planet.
Yeah.
What we do, about, news, contact, work with us, request a quote.
Right. Well, you
could be anything.
Really, the people who come here usually are, like, in the past, historically, it's been a place for people who already know what we do to come and learn more. So it hasn't, people, but that's shifting. That's why this is a great conversation, because it's really been more like we have a meeting, people are like, okay, this is great, we want to do this. Here's our site, learn a little more. And when you're done, in the corner, we have that request a quote button, and they can go in and submit the the specs for their job. So it's like, if people scroll through and read everything, I think there's a pretty good explanation of what we do. But
yeah, so this is great in terms of all the content on the homepage, but that above the fold stuff is the most important, and it's the weakest part of the page. That's what people see first, and it needs to be the strongest. You need to have a clear, compelling value proposition or explanation of what you guys do. You need to be focused on the visitor and not you or your organization. So in other words, it needs to be how they're the hero, not you're the hero. You're the guide, you're Obi-Wan Kenobi, they're Luke Skywalker. And it needs some social proof above the fold, like logos of organizations that have endorsed you, or media that have covered you, right, as seen on logos, for example, or certifications or clients, or yeah, you do have some logos pretty far down the page here. These.
Yeah, those are clients.
Yep.
But yeah, we do have some, like, for example, we're a B Corp, and we're also members of 1% of the Planet and things like that. Maybe that should be up top, would you say?
Well, that's important, but it's not really social proof. Social proof means that you have been pre-selected. If you walk into a bar and there are 5 supermodels with you,
Right.
the whole bar is buzzing about you. Like, who is this guy?
Right.
Is that the famous actor in Men in Black? I think it is.
It's funny.
Right. So that's what we're trying to achieve for you. So if you have as seen on, and then it's logos of big TV networks or of major newspapers.
Well, the brand, the brands that we've worked with for sustainability, like for sustainability consulting for production, it's everything from Live Nation to Ford to Apple to Facebook. So we should put those above the fold. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are way more impressive than some of these things that are just auto scrolling.
Right.
The slider thing, that's another thing that kills conversion. Automated sliders that keep moving. They're, again, a huge distraction. And yeah, sliders kill conversion. Here's the evidence on that. Sliders, don't use them. Here's why.
Right.
And there are all these conversion experts getting quoted in this article about why they're so terrible. So just have it be still and not moving. If there are more logos than can fit, you can either have the arrows they have to click on in order to see the other logos, or you can have 2 lines of logos instead of just one. But yeah, kill the slider. Here, I'll drop this into the chat.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm on the obviously on the desktop now. So
Okay. So there's that, and I'll give you the other one again, which was Wistia. Ugh, 6 reasons. Okay, here we go. And while I'm at it, I might as well put some other links into the chat we talked about, like Everypedia. And Wikitia. And Wikidata. And that trusted sources list.
Everpedia is the one you like, and which one was the one you don't use? Because you mentioned something.
Wikitia, but it doesn't hurt to be in Wikitia. I'm just not, I'm just not big into using that. I like Everpedia.
Right.
Okay, here's the trusted sources list. And here's some information on having a person schema. And also setting that up. Schema output. Yoast schema.
So Stefan,
Yeah.
to access CaliCube, do we need to be
free.
subscriber to the service? Because I took a look and I couldn't really get in.
No, it's free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the direct link to the trusted sources list, I dropped it into the chat.
Okay,
so
yeah, I saw it. Okay, I'll certainly take a look.
Okay, so I dropped in a couple of links there for structured data markup, which will help with getting the additional profiles in your knowledge panel.
Great, thank you.
All right, so going back to your website. So we'll just spend another minute or two on your site, and then we'll move on because we have a few other folks with us now. It's very hard to read content that's on a busy background. Like, look at this. We try to read that. We are catalyzing a paradigm shift in the entertainment and advertising towards this. Yeah, I can't read that.
Yeah. Okay.
and blah, 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 blah. And even if it's just on top of trees and mountains, it's still a lot harder to read. It's just,
Right.
yeah, it's frustrating. And then email us, and it's not even clickable link to your email
That
address.
should definitely be clickable.
And neither is your goodplanet.green website address, although it would point back to this homepage. You'll want to use the biggest brand names that you've worked with if you're going to have as seen on client logos above the fold. And they should all be the same color. They should all be gray and not colorful, because colorful logos look like something that people should click on. So we don't want people clicking on these, because they're going to it's going to distract them from the thing that you really need them to do on this homepage, which would be to contact you or to download the free thing that you want them to download and give their email address in exchange.
Right.
And these are not known names, like Elliptol, I've never heard of. The Gentle Barn, I've never heard of. Addictive Wellness, I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Can't even read what this is, but I'm not a drinker, so I don't really, like, that doesn't resonate for me. I don't know what this doesn't even have a brand associated with it.
Yeah, that's for product placement. So it was, that's not as important as the other brands that I mentioned.
Yeah, so these are very distracting. Even if they were still and didn't move, it'd be distracting and confusing, because, like, I don't know what brand that would be associated with and why I would click on that. And if I didn't click on it, how do I even know what this means, or what the relevance is to this page?
Yeah. I'm just gonna take that out, that line.
Yeah. So I can't read any of this. This looks cool.
That used to be clickable.
It's not clickable.
Not anymore. Yeah, no, I can see that. It used to be though.
Yeah.
I'll fix that link.
So follow Good Planet. This is taking up a lot of the screen for really no value. This looks very busy and cluttered and distracting of a background. And there's really no point to it. And there's no value proposition to following Good Planet.
Right.
If people have decided they want to follow you, then having your social chiclets in the footer, that's pretty standard where people would find that. But you don't have a YouTube chiclet. Do you not have a YouTube presence?
Not really.
Okay. So you don't even have a YouTube channel?
No, we should probably develop.
Yeah, you need one. You should go and grab that. And where is all the footer?
And I don't know why there's no
items?
Instagram there either.
Yeah. And there's no copyright statement or privacy policy link or terms of use or terms and conditions or repeated links to the main sections of the site, like what we do and about news and contact.
Yeah.
By the way, do you notice how that sticky nav, it's not usable because I can't even read what it says. That welcome is invisible. It's white text on a very light background. What we do, I can barely read that either. About news, I can kind of see, and contact, I can sign it. Work with us, request. Yeah, that's really not good usability.
Got it.
And these logos are way too big and way too colorful and distracting. They should be all grayscale and all fit on one line. And they shouldn't be down here. Nobody's going to notice it.
Right.
All right. So let's move on. I mean, we just scratched the surface,
Yeah.
but
Thank
I
you.
hope that was helpful.
Very helpful. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. You got a great mission. You're doing some really great things. So I'm hoping you'll come back on and we'll be able to continue to give you more advice and suggestions.
Yeah, I will for sure. Thank you so much. It's very helpful.
You bet. So we got Marco and John. Let's go to Marco and his Omni Nano. Let's have a quick look here.
So Stefan, the first thing I did was improve the knowledge panel and claim ownership.
Oh, great. Good job. So if I Google Omni Nano, yep,
What?
you own it, but there's
Yeah,
no
but no, I
there's
made
no
it
detail.
No, this is not the one. Maybe you need to refresh. I don't know.
Now this is of the minute. I just there's nothing to refresh. This is
No, but this is not what. I don't know if I can share my screen. I'll show you. It looks different on my computer.
okay. Sure. Here. I'm gonna
Okay,
stop
let
my
me
share.
make sure.
Hey, John.
Okay. Yes, it does look a little different.
Okay.
So it has all this thing, and this is Bing. Now, if we go to Google Chrome, and I'll do an incognito window. So
Yeah. So that's Bing. Bing has their own knowledge graph.
yeah,
It's not
so
Google's knowledge
it
graph.
does look different. Yes. So I
So
put
what
the
is your Google?
description.
If somebody Googles you, what does it look like on your computer? Is it the same as
This
what I
is
saw?
what it looks like on Chrome.
Well, you have to go back to the screen that you were like. You're only sharing one screen.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me.
Yeah, that's an annoying thing about
Yeah.
the configuration of Metal Zoom. Is you can't share multiple windows or tabs. There we go.
So this is my search through Google Chrome. So the knowledge panel looks like the one I updated.
Yeah, so that knowledge panel is actually a local panel.
Oh,
That's different from a knowledge panel. It's a local panel. It's based on Google My Business.
yes.
So I'm not local to you. I'm not in LA. I'm not getting the nearby business of Omni Nano.
Okay.
See, that's a problem. If you're trying to target people across the country and not just in Los Angeles, then Google My Business is not really that helpful.
Okay. Oh crap.
It's not a bad thing. You didn't do anything bad. You just need to populate your knowledge panel, which, as you saw, is very sparse and doesn't even have a description to go with it.
So where do I get this knowledge panel? Where do I need?
Where do you see it? So if you do you have a VPN? Like you could pick a different IP address using a VPN, like for New York or Stockholm or anywhere else, and just.
But do I need to log into Webmaster or?
No, you don't have to log in anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here, where does it say that I have ownership?
Well, that's the
This is the
local panel. And here, actually, let me go back and share my screen again.
Yes, please. I'll stop sharing my screen because I will address all your questions and concerns as long as I know how to do it.
No worries. Okay, so this is a pretty sparse knowledge panel.
Yes.
And if we use some of the sources that I already mentioned at the beginning of this session. I mentioned Wikidata and Bloomberg.com and Crunchbase.com, and there's a whole huge list on Calcube.pro that has all those trusted sources. You can go through that list and see what else you can find there. But yeah, it's hopefully going to get picked up, the description of your organization, from one of those trusted sources. Right now, it doesn't have a trusted source to pull any descriptive data for you from, but like
Yes.
Wikidata, for example, that could be enough right there. Just populate the Wikidata profile for Omni Nano.
Okay. So
But
the knowledge
I
panel
would-
is not something I can edit. It must be populated from other sources.
Yeah, it does, but you can make suggestions, because if you've claimed it, which it looks like you have, you can suggest that there's some inaccurate or incomplete information, and then someone will look at it and see
Okay.
if your suggestion has merit. Yeah.
Okay. I'll do that. Yes. I'll. So I have to do my homework, which I always
No
do.
worries, no worries. What else did you do that I can take a look at?
Let's see. What did I do? So I removed Google Plus. Remember?
Yep.
From the list of social medias. What else did I do? I did a few things and I can't remember now. Because we looked at the code, the source code.
Yeah, and you're doing the thing I kind of railed on earlier about
I'll
the
remove it.
sliders in the background, so that you know that's on.
Yeah,
that's on your
I'm
to-do
gonna
list.
remove it. Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with Foresight Institute?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you still have Google Plus here in the chiclets at the bottom.
Oh my God. Okay. Because I removed it from the schema.
And remember, when you're linking to your YouTube channel, if you add $sub_confirmation equals 1,
Okay.
it will take the user to a subscribe page or subscribe confirmation, and you'll get more subscribers. Sub confirmation equals 1. So watch what happens. They'll end up going to this page. I mean, it's still your channel, but with a confirm that you want to subscribe. And some people will, you say yes.
Oh.
You'll get more people subscribing to your channel that way.
Yes.
I don't know if I gave you that tip last time.
Fantastic. No, I didn't get it last time.
Oh, actually here, let me paste it into, because it's a silly thing with the separate windows. So it's this URL, youtube.com/c/omni nano orgstem. See?
Yeah. Hold on, let me take a screenshot of this. Oops.
Here, I'll just drop it into the chat.
Okay.
Drop it into the chat. 1 second.
Beautiful.
Was there anything else you wanted me to look at that you did?
No, I think I was proud of my knowledge panel, but apparently that's not the case. And I still have Google Plus, so
it's all good. It's all good. You did make some progress.
yes.
So John, do you want to ask me anything or have me look at anything for the last 5 minutes?
Yes, sure. Can you go to Emporium Thai on Google and see if anything? I'm still kind of building up things that you had suggested, but for now, just look at the if you search for Is there anything I miss?
Well,
And also right now my URL, the official URL is ethaicuisine.com, because Emporium Thai, I was stupid 10 years ago when Grubhub and third-party delivery said, oh, we're gonna build your website for free and no cost. So they took emporiumthai.com, and even I tried to get it back, they said no, and they're like big brand, so I can't fight them. But seem like ethaicuisine.com is also not bad. Yeah. So my question is, if I want to come up with some name that like super short and just, for example, like eat, whatever, like eatthai.com, and if it's available, and then have it forwarded to, like if I pick many URL and have it forwarded to my website, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, ethaicuisine.com is a little bit awkward. If you are open to buying an aftermarket domain, then you could go to sites like Cedo or Afternick or hugedomains.com or buydomains.com and search for like Thai as a keyword and see what's up. Let's say if we only want a .com, and you might spend $2,000 or $3,000 for a really good sounding domain. But
yes,
some of these are crazy expensive. But
because some customer would
pay
call
more than
in
a few $1,000s.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yep.
I'm on my iPhone, so I can't really read much. But do you see
Okay.
any interesting URL that for like a Thai food?
Yeah, well, ThaiFoods.com was $24,000. I think you might not be interested in that one.
That's still
that's crazy
not
expensive.
bad at all. Huh? Wow.
So I'm gonna pull up on Huge Domains just the keyword Thai and see what comes up here.
Yeah.
I do have a hard stop here in 1 minute, so I got to jump.
Okay.
But ThaiEver.com, $3,095.
But the
yeah,
question
so
is,
I would use. Yeah, go ahead.
So the question is, if I'm able to find a short URL that's relevant and have it forwarded to ethaicuisine.com, which I have it for 20 years, or I mean less, but somewhere around there. So that's not a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea.
Okay.
It's not going to hurt anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be easier for people to
right.
hear a URL that's short and easy on a radio commercial or when you speak it over the phone. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
All right.
I'll look for it.
Well, guys, we are out of time. Hope that was helpful. And
always. Thank you so much. I like yesterday, I mean, last week, I was so looking forward to it. And then until like few minutes before the session, like, oh no, you are not there to this week, that last week. But anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you
Steven.
so much. This was really valuable. Appreciate
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Take
Bye.
care.